We're back here at IT Fight Series onto the main portion of our professional card here. IT Fight Series 38, our first fight will be in the bantamweight division featuring Carlos Yanez, who makes his way to the cage right now, taking on Trey Taylor.
Yanez sporting a 1-0 professional record right now, coming out of Lake Station, Indiana.
Interesting to note that although he does have a 1-0 pro record, his official record as an amateur was just 2-3. He said he had a lot of fights that were unsanctioned kind of back in Indiana before they got sanctioning in that state, so he said he didn't know what his amateur record was. But 1-0 as a pro, 22 years old, said he's been wrestling since he was 5 years old, and then got out of high school, joined the Army, and now has been taking his mixed martial arts career hopefully to the next level as he made his pro debut. And looks to move up to 2-0 here in his IT Fight Series debut. Made his pro debut about a year ago, won by rear naked choke in the first round.
And let's welcome his opponent out of the blue corner, Trey Taylor.
Trey Taylor, 29 years old. Interesting that he made his amateur debut at a Fight Fest event back in 2007 in Nationwide Arena.
Oh, man.
The home of the Columbus Blue Jackets and one of the biggest arenas in Ohio, on a fight that was actually, or a fight card that was headlined by none other than Butterbean. So I guess that might be his claim to fame. But
making your amateur debut in an arena like that, in a card like that, that had to be nerve-wracking.
And Taylor, 29 years old, just 1-4 as a pro, as he splits time with IT Fight Series and Overbay MMA. And he told me, he said, pretty much I had some things I went through. He was incarcerated for a little while and got out and needed money. And he said, I just decided to take some pro fights, and I took some fights and not train, and I wasn't ready for them. And that kind of hurt his record early on in his career, but he's really kind of refocused and this year and picked up his first win back under the IT Fight Series banner in March.
Yeah, he ended up with a third-round stoppage, got a TKO in his victory. So
over Curtis Stoner, and that was a fight I talked to him, and it was really a fight where he kind of put it all together for the first time in his pro career. Pretty much dominated that fight. His wrestling looked good, his striking looked good all around. He does have a boxing background. He boxed in the Navy. So a really well-rounded fighter. And he's a guy that, if he puts it all together, he really could be, a really solid pro here at fighting for IT Fight Series.
Absolutely. And this is definitely the place for him to grow and get the fights that he needs to gain the experience and the knowledge and further his career.
Has a tough test here in the undefeated Carlos Yanez, 1-0, just 22 years old, who said, I'll try to strike with him for maybe about a minute, but then this thing's going to the ground.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled 3 5-minute rounds in the IT Fight Series professional bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a freestyle fighter with a professional record of 1 win, no losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing at 135.5 pounds. Fighting out of Lake Station, Indiana, Carlos, the Assassin, Yanez. His opponent is fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record, 1 win with 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing at 135.5 pounds. Fighting out of Sydney, Ohio, Trey Taylor! And your referee is Greg Franklin.
Here we go, professional bantamweights. Carlos Yanez in the black trimmed in white. Trey Taylor in the black and gray trimmed in red. Greg Franklin is our third man inside of the cage. Glove touching, they trade kicks, and it looked like a low blow there. But
looked like an incidental low blow, but he ended up having to fight through that as Taylor put the pressure on him.
Yeah, landed a big right hand there as it looked like Greg Franklin missed the low blow. tough for Carlos Yanez, but now Trey Taylor with a full mount here up against the cage.
Right in front of our broadcast position, Trey Taylor trying to flatten him out and impose his will on him, trying to posture so he can start landing some strikes.
Yanez actually sweeps and stands back up to his feet out of full mount. Good job there by Carlos Yanez, and he lands. He's out. This needs to be stopped. He was done.
Huge shot.
Another late stoppage by Greg Franklin here. Absolutely ridiculous.
Shot by Trey Taylor, just drops Yanez.
He was completely knocked out in a late stoppage there by Greg Franklin, but a great job
and
by
Yanez is
Trey Taylor. A tough break there for Carlos Yanez. Gets kicked in the cup and then makes it back to his feet. Needs a big right hand there from Trey Taylor. Great win by Trey Taylor.
Wow. Fantastic right hand down the pipe, and I mean, he just put Yanez down.
And I hate to be the guy that always yells at refs, but that was an absolutely horrible late stoppage. He was out when he hit. I mean, when you face plant on the mat, you're out.
Yeah,
you don't get a chance to recover from that. You're completely knocked out. He woke back up actually when he hit the mat, but.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the referees call stopping this contest at 47 seconds in the very first round. Declare your winner by knockout, Trey Taylor.
Big win for Trey Taylor, moving up to 2-4, and he will get to talk to Nick Hahn.
You're welcome. I didn't have much of a choice there. I'm here with our winner, Trey Taylor. Trey, you put him down 47 seconds in the first round. Big knockout victory. Talk us through the fight.
Man, I just showed up and I did everything that my coaches asked me to do. Got a lot of support. Thank you for everything, Scott Sheely, Chris Overby, Kurt, Michaelis. You guys are like brothers to me. Thank you all so much for helping me out. I had great training partners, Rob Hanna, thank you. Justin Edwards, thank you. Timmy McCallum, thank you. You guys are helping me out a lot for this. And once all, I gotta thank my wife, you guys. She's my better half. Without her, I couldn't do none of this. Please give her applause. Thank you guys.
Trey Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.